Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon, and we're going to chronicle the absolute insanity that is America in 2025. Are you ready? You ready for this one? Apparently, gamers are responsible for the DOGing of the federal government. Gamers are being blamed. I didn't really pay attention to this. I've been looking for more articles talking about Gamergate because more and more are starting to pop up. And this one was actually from a couple of weeks ago, but they were blaming gamers for Elon Musk. Gamer culture. Gamer culture is the reason federal workers are losing their jobs. Yeah, I know, right? But also, you know, this is the same mentality. Steak and Shake puts a picture up of their fries. They said they're going to be cooking their fries in beef tallow, throwback fries. And somebody with a balding Musk says you chose the Nazi font. They said Old English font is not Nazi. It's Old English. Get over the Nazi nonsense. Get over the Nazi nonsense. What are we going to talk about? Now gamers are, the alt-right are taking over the country. They're going to make us eat better food. Oh my God. Yeah. And of course, gamers being blamed. And, you know, for the most part, like actual gamers aren't paying much attention to any of this shit unless they work for the government, I think. I mean, that's just my opinion. I think most gamers are like, yeah, I don't really care about politics. I'm vaguely paying attention, but you're being blamed for everything, guys. Just so you know, if you're watching this video, everything you're being blamed for. You're probably to blame for Ukraine. You're probably to be blamed for whatever. Snowstorms, ice storms, climate change. Climate change is your fault. Damn gamers, because your little your Xbox, you turn it off. Can you turn off the efficiency setting on that? Because yeah, your Xbox is polluting the atmosphere, so you're to blame for climate change. We're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Go to clownfishtv.substack.com, and you will get a notification whenever we upload a video. And again, Geeky Sparkles sitting this one out. You're stuck with me, so we're going to talk about Space Daddy Elon Musk, who is taking a chainsaw to the government, and they don't like it very much. And neither does the media, because a lot of them are losing their money and they're losing their connections, and it's become quite the interesting situation, right? You just what's the old adage? Measure twice, cut once. That's what it feels like. Like, okay, if we were going to completely turn government on its ear and finally fix the budget and finally, you know, bring things under control, how do we do it? Okay, we go for the jugular. We cut the money off, and we do it brutally and quickly and swiftly. And my God, they are squealing, and it's wild. But it's all your fault, gamers. So this comes from Salon. What Elon Musk's war on federal workers owes to Gamergate. The long ago troll tantrum from video gamers upset by women kicked off the culture wars for the stupid era. Is that English? It doesn't even feel like AI. One of the most unnerving aspects of billionaire Elon Musk's illegal rampage through the government is how stupid it is. It's stinky. It's bad. To be sure, the more important issue is that it's reckless and evil. Under the false auspices of efficiency, he's slashing workers at random and targeting entire departments that happen to have the power to hold his business accountable for law breaking. Well, that's one way of looking at it. Reddit is freaking the hell out. I never knew there were so many feds on Reddit. I mean, the Fed subforums are, oh my God. Like, I was watching it go down when they're laying people off at the IRS. And it is, I mean, you want to talk like Lost Boys vampire death moment. Like, they're just going out in the messiest fashion possible. It's crazy. The sadism is accompanied by a trollish glee that reads far more like a 13-year-old boy's failed attempts at humor than what one would expect from a 53-year-old businessman and father of 12. Well, you can't say he's an incel. I'm just saying, you can't say he's an incel. The name of the initiative is DOGE. A silly meme from 12 years ago turned into Musk's favorite crypto. He tweets about Doge nonstop, grasping onto self-serving lies and conspiracy theories with a credulity of So all-encompassing, it cannot help but be willful. What the fuck am I reading? He does this under profile names like Harry Balls, and we're all a little dumber for it. Oh, God, guys, just brace yourself. Fascists have always been clowns, but it's a 21st century innovation that they're so proud of their juvenile behavior. I don't think the Nazis were making a lot of jokes. Call me crazy. They didn't seem like the kind of people that made a lot of jokes. Unfortunately, many in online journalism saw this coming a decade ago. Many activists who are terminally online saw this coming a decade ago with the emergence of the dumbest social movement in American and probably world history. Gamergate. I don't know. There's some dumber shit that's been done since Gamergate. For those blissfully unaware of this history, Gamergate was the first major crowdsourced harassment campaign of the social media era. On the surface, it was mostly a bunch of young gamers having a year-long tantrum because they didn't want women getting girl cooties on their video games. Oh no, okay. But for those of us who watched it closely, it was a troubling portent of what turned out to be a full-blown fascist movement. DOGE owes everything to Gamergate. Oh my God. From its, I'm sorry. I'm just like, the squealing is just absolutely delicious. It really is. I mean, look, I'm very sorry. If you're a federal worker, and I worked a job that was federal adjacent for a number of years, I am very sorry if you lost your job. I am. But the hysterics, and a lot of the hysterical behavior is coming from the media. It's coming from people that are not even affected by the job cuts, right? I mean, people want the budget balanced. How are you going to do that when you got too much bloat? I mean, they're basically just treating the government like tech companies, like everybody. Everybody's cutting back. Why? We have way more people than we need, right? I mean, it's just like, it's like they just kept growing and growing and growing. And the federal government is this monstrosity of bureaucracy and interconnected offices and unnecessary people doing busy work that we're paying for. By the way, we're all paying for that. So, I mean, I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry if you lost your job, but if this lowers taxes for the rest of us, those people can go work someplace else, right? You can work someplace else like everybody else. I know you're probably not gonna have the pretend job security you thought you had, but the rest of us have to go. We have to actually go to work. We actually have to sweat paying the taxes so you can just work from home or phone it in or whatever. It's like, geez, God, man. Anyway, DOGE owes everything to Gamergate, from its aesthetics to its tactics to its manpower, which largely draws on young men now 10 years older who are radicalized to the far right via social media. As journalist Max Reed pointed out recently, Musk's project isn't like Gamergate, but straightforwardly is Gamergate, composed of many of the exact same people, rehashing the same unjustified grievances. Literally, in between bouts of attacking federal workers as parasites, well, again, I worked a job that was federal adjacent, and I saw some people that didn't work very hard. I'm just saying, that's not everybody. I know there are people who work very, very hard, but there are a lot of people who are just phoning it in. And a lot of people who are phoning it in from home, they're getting paid a ridiculous amount of money to do it. And it's almost impossible to get rid of them. Well, apparently not. Apparently it's not impossible. Musk and his fanboys also whine that video games are too woke, and this justifies fascism. The point is, you shouldn't have touched our fucking video games. This is Sneed, Noob Slayer. You shouldn't have touched our fucking video games. Now we're going to grape the United States government and promote the rise of socialism in America. No, this is a troll account. This is not an actual conservative gamer. This is an activist playing the part. And there are a lot of these people out there. Trust me. There are a lot of these people out there on social media. You don't even have a blue check. If you are serious there, Sneed Noob Slayer, you'd have a blue check. You'd be paying Space Daddy as $8 or $10 or $50 or whatever, however the hell much it is a month now. in my opinion. But what DOGE owes Gamergate goes much deeper than the gripes of those suffering arrested development. The propaganda tactics and strategic incoherence of DOGE comes straight out of the year Gamergaters sharpened their techniques through a sustained and painfully stupid harassment campaign against feminists online. Hey, more than half the country voted for this. And statistically speaking, not all of them are gamers. And statistically speaking, very, very, very few of them know what Gamergate even is, right? They just know they don't like the products that are being produced and they don't want to buy them. They'd rather go back and buy old games or not play games or do something else, go outside. First lesson of Gamergate was the propaganda value of bad faith. Oh my God, coming from online journalists, reinforced by endless repetition. Gamergaters were motivated primarily by two grievances. Feminists were criticizing sexism in video games, and crucially, that these same feminists seem to have more sex than Gamergaters. Elon Musk has 12 children. He's done it at least 12 times. That's probably more than the average Kotaku journalist. I'm just saying. The whole campaign started as targeted harassment of a female, now non-binary. Oh, I'm so surprised by that. Video game developer whose bitter ex-boyfriend riled up a mob against her by telling them she had sex with lots of men. Soon spread to target other outspoken feminists, especially those who criticize video games. The underpinnings of sexual jealousy was always present. The very first paragraph, second paragraph, you said, Elon Musk has a lot of kids, but they're still calling him an incel. Musk and his Doge bros are using the same tactic now with the false claims that their goal is saving money. Well, it is. This is absurd to anyone who looks even a millimeter below the surface. Not just because those touted savings are a lie. Well, I don't know. When you fire 50% of a department, I'm no math expert, but if you're firing 50% of the people working for a company, you're probably going to save half of your payroll, right? I mean, that's kind of how that works. And you do that times every agency in the United States. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, right? Musk's decisions aren't informed by research and analysis. They're vindictive, erratic, and fueled by outright lies and racist grievances. Yeah, I know when they started firing people at the IRS, they kept pointing out that there were a lot of black folks and women working at the IRS, and it was whatever. The parrot-like rep. I can't read this dumb fucking article. Saving money is causing the press to amplify the lie with the headlines that falsely describe Doge as a cost-cutting effort. Yes, it is. Have you never seen? Oh, I'm assuming this author worked for a real company, right? You're probably a socialist. Companies do this all the time. I've had to make these decisions myself, my own companies and for other companies. You have to save money, and usually you start with payroll because people are expensive, right? It's not just the salaries, but it's all the perks and everything else that go with them. It's, the health insurance and the all this stuff that goes with them, the office space, all the stuff they need, their equipment, their vehicles. You cut one person. You're not just saving Joe's $60,000 a year, but you're probably like, well, we don't need as many trucks. We don't need to rent that office anymore. We don't need this many subscriptions to these things anymore because we don't have as many people. And then those savings just kind of snowball. And it's awful for Joe. But if Joe's job was like literally showing up and like Office Space and doing, 15 minutes of actual work and like playing Tetris all day or something, why was Joe there? There was no reason for Joe to be there. Why does the taxpayer, why does some other Joe someplace else have to work his ass off and pay taxes so that Joe can sit in the office and do 15 minutes of work every day? You know what I'm saying? It's not fair. It's not fair. If you want these people to keep their jobs so badly, put a GoFundMe together and get them a job. I don't know. I'm just saying, you probably don't even, you're an online journalist. I'm sure you don't pay a lot in taxes. I'm pretty sure you probably don't, given how much these people are getting paid. The text of these articles often debunks the talking point by pointing out that Musk's numbers are not made up, but most people don't read articles. Oh, no, Musk's numbers are made up. How can we read the articles when they're so stupid and we don't want to read them? Right? Most people don't read articles. That's the problem. Most people don't read articles. They're not reading Salon, and you're pissed. Yeah, I'm tired and I'm reading gobbledygook. DOGE needs to be understood. It's not just a small group of people trying to destroy the federal government from the inside, but it's a larger social movement that lives on X, formerly Twitter, is driven by Musk's cult of personality. The sea of brain donkeys screaming for the heads of federal workers on X is gross, but it does generate the energy and sense of momentum necessary for Musk's activities. Very few people, I mean, there are a lot of people using X, but again, it's not like Facebook, right? It's not like everybody uses Facebook. X is still kind of a niche thing. Twitter was very niche. X isn't really, it doesn't have the power. I mean, it does, but whatever. Recruitment strategy builds crowd of haters, comes straight from Gamergate. Appeal to people by enticing them to take their insecurities out on your chosen scapegoat. Gamergate young men were encouraged to redirect their sexual frustrations and social anxieties. So basically, you're an incel basement dwelling chud. It's your fault that DOGE is happening. I'm pissed off that the government's getting chopped because either I got friends working for the government or I'm afraid I'm not going to get my handouts anymore. And I'm mad about it. You know, how dare they? How very dare they? How dare they shrink our government? Founding fathers be like, why? Why do we have this many people? Why are we taxing people? This is exactly what we're trying to get away from. Why are we bankrolling all these people? Like, what is going on here? Oh my God, the DOGE bros. Same thing is happening with DOGE, except the scapegoat is no longer hip young feminists. No. I don't think they call them hip young feminists, Salon. I think they called them activists, and other words I can't repeat. Wokesters, other words I can't repeat on YouTube. But they're federal workers. The psychological projection of their own flaws and insecurities on these anonymous workers isn't subtle. The accusations that middle-class federal workers are parasites, frauds, and thieves sounds quite rich to people who seem to have nothing to do all day but scream invective online. I can't. They're knee-deep in cryptocurrency, a market that appears only to exist for crime and degenerate gambling. Oh, for fuck's sake. How long is this fucking article? I can't read anymore. This is stupid. Okay, so to Amanda. TLDR. Trump won. Musk is making cuts. I'm mad about it. You're a Nazi incel. The end. That would have been a very short article, though. You wouldn't have gotten your word count in there. You wouldn't have gotten your multiple ads in there, and it's not spicy enough to get attention. In fact, I didn't see this one for like 3 weeks. Fuck this. I'm out. I'm done. This is so dumb. This is such a bad take. It's just name calling. It's not even, there's like no substantiation of anything. Just like, Musk is a liar and you don't have sex. And that's why you want federal workers to lose their jobs because you don't have sex. Did we mention you don't have sex? Yeah, you're just mad at women because they want to have sex with you. He's got 12 kids. Whatever. Like, I don't think he's perfect. Trust me, I got issues with Musk, but like the government bloat has to start somewhere. We got to start cutting it somewhere, right? That's my personal opinion. But again, I am a libertarian, so I'm going to feel that way. I feel very strongly that taxation is theft, but we're stuck with it for now, unfortunately. We'll see how long it lasts, though. It might not last very long. The way things are going, there's not going to be anybody left to collect the taxes. I'm going to wrap this up. Whatever. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.